Good morning. By request, I'm going to show you how to sew in a zipper. I'm in my jammies, but I've been sewing a lot lately. If I'm not working out in the yard, then I'm in sewing stuff, and I've had a lot of compliments on my zippers, so I'm going to show you how I do it by request. So enjoy, follow along with me. So the zipper I'm going to install is going on the front of a backpack that I'm going to make. I'll show you the final result. This is the backpack, and this is the zipper I'm going to put in. It is a completely different material than the bag. It's all encompassing, all inclusive, whatever. But that's the one that we're going to do today. And if you don't like my Bigfoot fabric, then don't watch my video. So you want your zip to be a little bit longer than your fabric. This one is, but to get a nice look, you don't want these metal parts in there. So these aren't my really good scissors. It's okay, they'll work. So I cut them off. Just cut off the metal parts. Make sure your zipper's open, even, and cut off those metal parts, just like that. Then I take my actual fabric and make tabs. Now, you could do these several different ways. As long as the fabric is wider than your zip, and this lengthens it and then makes it covers up the finish of it. And this is directional fabric, so I want to make sure that my little Bigfoot guy here is pointing up. This is where it gets kind of confusing. Zippers open from left to right. So if I did it this way, it would be wrong, because I want my zipper to open this way on this bag. So this is left to right. So he's right side up, and that's the way I want to add my fabric. So you can either do it this way, and it would make it like this much longer, or you can fold it and put it in there, but you always want to do it right sides together. So I could fold it. I'd have to do it this way. Okay, all right, sorry, I'm not a good instructor. I'm just gonna fold this in half, just like that. I'm gonna put this in here and make sure it's all the way up against this. Looking for a clip. I'm gonna clip it so that it stays up there. I'm gonna do the same to this side. I'm gonna unzip it a little bit. Make sure my Bigfoot is facing me. It's going the right direction away. And I'm gonna fold this one in half. And then I just squeeze, and now I know where I need it. So I need to squeeze these together, fold it over. There's my mouthy cat. Of course, I don't have a clip over here. Clip it. Make sure they're both in there. It's clipped. Okay, let's go take this to the sewing machine, and we're gonna sew right here real good. Make sure that and there's an animal hair. Make sure that you sew it real good so that the zipper doesn't unzip. So let's go do that. Okay, all I am doing is sewing this zipper to this little tab fabric. Real good. So when you open it, it's attached. So do that to both sides. Yes, my ironing board is well used. I iron everything. So I turn the fabric the right way and iron it down. Be careful not to melt these if they're plastic. Okay, iron down. Now we're going to do a top stitch right along here to finish it. That's where I cut. So make sure you're using color coordinated thread. I'm just going to use white, but I line it up right here. I line it up with my presser foot right here, and I'm just going to do a top stitch right along here, and it just gives it a more finished look. That's the lazy way to do it, because my machine doesn't automatically cut, so I just did them together. I'll show you the finished look. So cut off my strings, and then I cut the two in the middle. Oh, look, I jacked it up right. Oh no, I didn't. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if you backstitch, because this is going to be sewn in to where your zipper's gonna go, right here. It's gonna be sewn in. So we'll eventually end up cutting these off. Now the fun part. Right sides together. So this is the way my zipper's gonna go. It's gonna open from left to right. This is the right side of the zipper. This is the right side of my fabric. So you're going to place those together. Another thing I do is let's get the middle. I line those up. I get the middle. Sorry. I mark the middle of the zipper here. So now I know where the middle is. See my marks? Make sure my zipper's the right way. Then this one, this is my outer fabric. I just kind of press it there so I can see. Okay, right sides together, and I match up the middles. So the mark that I made and the line that I creased. Clip it. And then match the top all the way across. All the way across. If you're a very, very, very beginner, just turned around, I don't know if you can see me. If you're a very, very, very beginner, you can sew that right along the top. I do it all in one because I've done this and I'm lazy. Okay, let's get back to this. This is my liner. This is the right side of my liner that I want showing inside my bag versus that. Okay, right sides together. And I measure, excuse me, I line up the edges so I don't have to figure out where the middle of this fabric is. Just measure up the edges. Another thing you can do is get double-sided tape and get the double-sided sewing tape. Don't get regular because it'll gum up your needle. If you had double-sided tape, you could tape it right along here, and then you can just press this to it, and then it won't move. I just use clips. You don't have clips, you can use pins. I poke myself too many times, so I don't want to use pins. Okay, that's all clipped together. So you'll see the zipper is sandwiched in between the main fabric. So when it's sewn, there's my main fabric, and then when you open the pocket, you're going to see this. Okay. Okay. Let's take that to the sewing machine. Okay, you really need a zipper foot. I have never put in a zipper with this regular pressure foot, so if you don't have a zipper foot, I highly suggest you get one, because I don't know how well you could put in a zipper with this, because it's going to be too far away from the actual zip part to catch on. But this is my zipper foot. I know I'm over explaining this, but I want you to get the concept. Okay. This zipper foot, I can either have the needle on this side or I can have the needle on this side, whichever way I put the foot in. I want the needle on the side where the zipper is. So I put it in this way. I definitely want the needle on the side where the zipper is, which the zipper is right here. I can feel it. If I was doing it, this way, I would want the needle on this side of my foot if the zipper is on this side. I hope that makes sense. I don't know what kind of zipper foot you have, but just make sure when you put it in that the needle, some of them might just have one foot. I don't know. That's just mine. I have a Singer, if you can see it. Bright. Okay, let's start this. I know I'm over explaining this, but I'm trying to give you all the tips that I use, and then you can figure out ways to do it easier. So when I sew it, I want this to line up with the actual zipper. That's why I like to sew it so that the thick part of the zipper, see, this part is the right side. The other side, the zipper's more flat. So I like to do it with the bumpy side of the zipper up, because I will press this like this, and I will keep that right along that edge where the zipper is. I don't know if I can sew this and show you and hold the camera at the same time. I don't have that kind of setup. Let me try. I'm sure as soon as I start sewing, my camera's gonna fall. Okay, this is lined up with the puffy part of the zipper, and then you're going to want to pull these out as you come to them. So I do back stitch here. Make sure my thread's out of the way. Okay. And just go slow. Press that so I can see the bump and keep it right in line with this. So it's just on the other side. Don't know if you can see that. Here's the bump, and that is just on that bump there. And I'm going to do that all the way across. But I can't do it while I'm holding my camera. Let me try. Keep pushing that. Let me give you another tip. When you get to this, it is going to mess. It's going to be a curved line. So you are going to want to unzip that a little bit, unless your zipper goes over and it's longer. But you don't want to sew with this closed because, like I said, it's going to make a wonky line. So make sure your needle is in your fabric. Okay, needle's in the fabric. You can lift this presser foot and you can unzip this and get it on the other side of here. I got to do that with 2 hands. Okay, see how it's gone? Because it's back here now. It's back here. So that it's not going to mess me up when I'm going right along that line. Go all the way to the end, back stitch. Okay, here's our zip installed. And again, let me turn my iron on. Gotta iron. And you want to iron this away from the zipper. Make sure it's really, really flat because we're going to do a top stitch on it. Okay, see? I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to push this side away from the zip. If you don't like to iron, then you might not want to be a sewer. So I iron everything all the time. See how it's all flat now? Now we're going to go do a top stitch right here. With your zipper foot still on, we're going to do a top stitch. Sorry, I wasn't looking at my camera. We're going to do a top stitch right along here. Again, the needle is on the side that my zipper's on, okay? The presser foot, this part right here, I'm going to line up with that line right there. Okay, I got it down so it's secure. So I'm going to line this up with this. And keep it straight and go very, very slow. And yes, I do this with one hand, you guys. I can't backstitch. Hang on. I can't get a good view, so this will have to do. So, I said really slow. And just guide it through there. Making sure this is in line. My foot pedal sticks. It does not take much to turn at all. If you go, oh, I'm getting too too close and you come out this way, that dude is taking a sharp turn. So make sure you do it very, very gradually, or pick it out and start over. And now we don't have to worry about this guy because it's not in the way at all. One side is done. Isn't that beautiful? Now let's go do the other side. Same concept, it's just the way you put the fabric. So we'll explain that. Now for the other side. If your pocket doesn't have a liner, it's going to be easier for you, but this one has a liner. It's just one more piece of fabric. Okay, here's the top of my pocket with the zipper. If this zipper is not completely straight, I iron that because I want this to be straight. So this is going to be the top of my pocket. Directional fabric, make sure it's going the right way, right sides together, and you're going to line it up with the top of this zipper right here. I line up the edges, line up the top of the zipper, clip it. And again, this is where the double-sided sewing tape could come in, because you could put the double-sided tape here. I have to iron that, it's bugging me. You could put the double-sided tape here, stick this on, easy enough. Again, use clips. And I'm just gonna clip a couple of these. Now the liner, flip it over. This is the right side of the liner. This is the right side of the liner versus this side. Right sides together. Line up the edges, the top, clip it. I will put more clips in here before I sew because I don't like it to move, but I want to show you. Liner, right sides together. Pocket, right sides together. So when it folds up and I sew it into my bag, oh, and look, he's upside down. He's upside down. So I have to undo this. That's kind of the hard part about doing the directional fabric. Okay, so I want it to look like this, so he's going the right way. So I need to do it this way. So it's kind of nice to double check that before you start sewing. And I own probably 3 seam rippers. I lose them. And I rip out a lot of seams. Okay, those, now see. Okay, now he's right side up. We're gonna go sew this. Right, it's the same concept. Everything's clipped together. There's my zipper. There's my back. And you're gonna put it in here. And again, you're going to keep this in line with that. Now, I got this issue again. See my presser foot's right here? So I'm going to unzip it just a little bit to get down there. And then once I get to here, I'll come back on and talk about it. Okay, make sure your needle is in in, my needle's all the way in, and I'm going to lift up my presser foot, and I'm going to zip this back up. I'm trying to do this and I keep getting interrupted by phone calls. Okay, my foot is in, I lifted this up, and now my zipper is up here. So now I can continue, and again, I'm going to press and keep this in line with where the zipper is.
Will you call Poppy?
God damn it. Okay, we got it. It's in there. Do the same thing. You're going to iron this away from the zipper. Make sure it's flattened out. Look, mine got a little bit wonky. Right about here. But for the most part, you can't really tell. Just make sure it's all away from the zipper. Right here. See it? Now we're going to top stitch this side. Basically the reason is because it holds everything together. See? And it gives it a nice finished look. So we're going to top stitch this one. Same as before. Zips on this side, needles on this side. This is going to line up with this. Get down there. This part right here lines up with this. So let's do that. There you go. Look, this, when my string got in here, it messed me up and I went wonky right there. This fit doesn't look too bad. This one kind of, this side sucked. I don't know. Maybe it's because people are watching, but cut off all these little strings and that's your zipper installed. If any of this puckered, seriously, pick it out and just do it again. If this wasn't just for me, I would pick that out. I would pick that out right there and do it again, but this is for me. I don't know who else likes Bigfoot, but there's your zipper. Wasn't that easy? It looks and sounds really complicated, but it's not. Just take one step at a time, keep everything straight, and you're going to do fine. And then you're going to be like, I love zippers. I'm going to put zippers in everything. Because that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm going to put zippers in everything. I like it. So I hope that helped you. Want to see my final product? That's it. The beautiful zipper.